The Chicago Bears have still been trying to decide if Caleb Williams is going to play or not in the Hall of Fame game. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Plus, we're going to talk about Kyler Gordon being picked to have a breakout season in 2024. All that plus the mailbag right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. And so I want to start off with the top. Caleb Williams. We talked a little bit about it yesterday at practice. Matt Eberflus said they are still not sure if Caleb Williams should be playing or will be playing in the Hall of Fame game. And so the question is that how much should he play? If he does play, should the Bears play him? Things like that. And while I understand not wanting to put necessarily extra reps in a preseason game, since the NFL did move the preseason games down to 3, and the league is still considering moving to 18 games, which at some point we're going to talk about as a panel with me, Bobby, and C-Dub. But ultimately, how much should Caleb Williams play overall in this preseason, right? Matt Eberflus has talked several times saying that about 55 to 60 something reps is about where 50 to 60 reps is about where Matt Eberflus would like Caleb Williams to play. And then it becomes about how you're distributing those reps for Caleb Williams. Personally, I think Caleb Williams should play in a little bit in each one of the games. Everybody knows that the football world is excited to see what Caleb Williams is going to look like on an NFL field. And so listen, does it feel like a bit of a robbery if they don't play him? When you look at last year's Hall of Fame game, for example, the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets did not play either one of their starters in Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers. And when you look at it overall, quarterbacks, even being rookies or anything, don't play a whole lot in the preseason. We're not going to see a bunch of it. But I would rather see a much better distribution of those snaps that are played than just sitting them out the first game. Everybody's excited about this. And this is where, as a fan, the mindset comes in for me is that as a fan, I just want to see my quarterback take the field, right? Even if they were only to play him, two possessions, right? Something like that. Like, get him out there, get him a couple series out there, let him get 2 series or whatever it is. Like, get him something out there. That's just my personal opinion. I understand the Bears' mindset behind not playing him. And like we talked about in yesterday's game, having a joint practice this year with the Cincinnati Bengals and how hard those can be. Maybe the Bears look at that as saying that's kind of like rather than get him a couple of snaps in a Hall of Fame game, maybe that's something that's 2 weeks away, right? So it's a lot of the thought process that goes into whether you want Caleb to play or not. But I think he should. I just think that it shouldn't be very much. Let him get out there and get 10 snaps. Let him get 15 snaps. Let him get a series. Let him get something out there just so we can see. Now, I get it. Bears fans are going to make knee-jerk reactions one way or another, right? If he comes in and looks great in 3 series or not, they're gonna have these think pieces on it. But ultimately, I think it just comes down to people are ready to see not just Caleb Williams, but what this new look offense is going to look like. And so there's a lot of excitement around that. And that excitement gets a bit of kick in the nuts when you aren't playing your starting franchise quarterback. So it is what it is there. But let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think Caleb Williams should play in the Hall of Fame game? If he does, how much do you think he should play in a game like that, considering basically meaningless? But let me know what you guys think on that down below. Now, with that said, we've talked a lot about preseason polls, things like that. And Kyler Gordon was picked by Yahoo Sports to have a breakout season in 2024, saying this: Gordon was key for a Bears defense that played like a top 10 unit in the back half of the season. Gordon is another terror in the slot who can impact the game in multiple ways and a key cog to the Bears' zone-heavy scheme that requires smarts and feel for space. Gordon helps round out what I think is the best cornerback trio in the NFL right now, alongside Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson. I love that last part. The best cornerback trio in the NFL. And then you're not even counting Greg Stroman and Terrell Smith in that as well. Like, give those guys some love. Like, Kyler Gordon being prepped for a breakout season in year 3 would be something that I think everybody would love to see, right? We know that he has the capability. When you look at how they used him in run blitzing, pass blitzing, of course, in coverage, like, Kyler Gordon really became a workhorse and a do-it-all cornerback and perfect for that nickel cornerback spot for the Chicago Bears. And that's not something to overlook. He's become great at that and damn near elite at that. And so seeing I've talked a lot about Tyreek Stevenson, and how I do think that Tyreek Stevenson is going to turn into a ball hawk seriously this year. But don't overlook the versatility that they use Kyler Gordon in. That's going to get him a lot of recognition as well. And we could be talking about multiple Pro Bowlers out in our secondary this season. And so I know, people have said can we become like the next Legion of Boom or whatever that is? I'm not worried about becoming the next anything. I'm worried about this cornerback crew and this secondary becoming a great secondary for the Chicago Bears. There's tons of talent there. And when you pair that with how this defensive line should be improved next season, hey, man, this is a big, big year for everyone in that secondary. Jalen Johnson because of his deal, Tyreek Stevenson coming into his second year, and then Kyler Gordon, his second year now playing in that slot, right? His third year overall, but second year playing in that slot, a position that he really thrived in a lot of ways. So I think this is big for everybody. I think you can't really overlook this. This is going to be a fun offseason. Season for this secondary. And this secondary, if they can stay healthy, which is another thing we need, relative health. But Kyler Gordon is another one that don't let the Jalen Johnson contract or the hype of Tyreek Stevenson, the earned hype, right? I don't want to make that sound like a negative. Overlook from what Kyler Gordon contributes to this defense and how much he could be a big part of this defense being successful. So I love that he's getting his recognition. I love that so many Bears, between Jalen Johnson's ranked in the top 100, Montez Sweat being ranked in the top 100, Kyler Gordon getting now this accolade, people being excited about Javon Dexter. This defense has the makings of something special. And I think the offense is going to get a lot of the recognition, but that defense is going to do a lot of the dirty work. But all right, it's Friday, so that means it's Mailbag Day here at Chicago Bears Central. This episode is mainly built around your voicemails. Let's get into this first one. This one's from Darius.
What's going on, man? Darius from Dallas. I just want to call and comment on my boy old Fred, man. I always enjoy listening to his voicemails. He reminds me of my boy Courtney, that's also from the shop. He's just straight shooter. I get it, man. I know you're pissed at Caleb, but Frederick, listen, man. He's not in any of those negotiations. Just like Haize said, he's just sitting there and doing nothing but being a professional, man. He's showing up in camp and he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's not a distraction. He's being humble about it. He's coming in there and he's busting his ass, man, on the field and in the film room. He's looking at the playbook. He's studying hard. He's been nothing but a 5-star professional, man. So I don't think that, I think you might be a little too harsh on that end. But however, is that if he's already, I'm kind of a little nervous about it to an extent, because there is a side of it where Fred is kind of on point, where if we're having these issues getting the contract done before he's even proven anything, good Lord, if he goes out there and balls out, he's going to be expecting the top, we got to set a new NFL record probably with what we're going to have to pay him when the time comes. So does that mean that, is it smarter after year two, if he is progressing in the right way? Shoot, man, after year two, we might need to try to extend him then. Because way the salary cap going, man, shit, the quarterback's probably be getting $50 million a year by the time he, probably $70 million a year by the time his contract is up, man. So it does make me a little nervous in the aspect of, because Fred ain't all the way wrong. It does make me a little nervous in the aspect of, if he does do good, or if we're already having this problem now, if he goes out there and proves himself and he's got a leg to stand on in the negotiation process, that might be a little bit of a drag out, and we don't want a guy to come in here and ball out and leave after 4 years, after we finally get a stable quarterback. We want to keep this guy until he retires, hopefully. So I'm hoping it's not a situation where, you had the Ball brothers and their dad intervene in the negotiation process in school. I'm hoping that that's not what we're dealing with here. But I do know that I just wanted to call and, kind of tell Fred that, hey, man, relax a little bit, but you're not all the way wrong, brother. I get where you're coming from. And, we just got to hope that he puts it on the field. And when the time comes, we might have to extend this guy after year two, because waiting until the end of his contract will probably be a nightmare. But let me know what y'all think, man. Text this up there.
Listen, I agree with you. Everything. Like, I get Fred is a very excitable because he's passionate, right? And I don't mean that as a negative. Fred cares about the Chicago Bears team, and you'll hear it. That's why he curses so many people out. It just is what it is. But I agree with you. He's not being a distraction. He's being very professional, and he's taking care of the business that we need a rookie quarterback to take care of. Learning that playbook, commanding the huddle, learning the guys, right? Building that chemistry with these players. Those are all things that we really need from the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, and he's bringing that. And so he's doing everything that he can right now until the pads are on and we're watching football games. And once we see how that performance is going to be for him, that's going to be a hugely different thing. So, I love it. Now, as far as the concern there, though, I will say this, is that rookie contract issues do usually rear their heads again when it's time to negotiate that second contract. And the Bears, to your point, I hadn't even thought about that, may want to lock in and restructure an extension with Caleb Williams as soon as they can, right? Make sure he's going to be legit. Maybe you wait to the end of his second year, whatever it is. But yeah, they're probably going to want to lock that in. And I do have some concern. I said that when it went down, like even before, when all the thing was made about Caleb Williams, even before he was drafted, and I said that, the problem isn't worrying about his first contract. The problem is worrying about when it's time for that second contract. And if he is Hollywood, which I don't have that feeling anymore, but if he was, because that was the conversation around that point in time, would it then play into that second contract for him? And would he end up leaving the Bears during that second contract? So we'll see. I think ultimately Caleb wants to be great. And as long as the Bears put him in a situation to where he feels like they are supporting him, he has to do his own work as well to be great. I'm not really worried about it yet, but listen, we may not have to worry about that for 4 years down the road. And let's hope that this is a really good 4 years to where it's not even a conversation. Let's hope that that's the case, Darius. But I agree with most of what you said. All right, let's get into this next voicemail. This one's actually fun, Fred.
What up, Haize? This your boy Fred. What it do, man? Camp is here. Time to separate the men from the boys. Let's see who's going to be starting at which position. The most position I'm intrigued by is who's going to start on the other edge of Montez Sweat. And you know what? People keep forgetting about on that other D tackle. Besides, they keep praising Dexter, which I'm proud to see Dexter ready to step up and be that elite D tackle that can be for us. Is Pickens. People keep forgetting about Pickens. Now I know we signed Billy to a extension or whatever though, but honestly, I would like to see Pickens and Dexter starting at D tackle. I mean, Billy, he can come in rotating, like he's a good run stopper. But Billings is not a good, pass rusher like that. But with them two, Pickens coming in, I think Pickens at what, 6'4", 6'5", something like that? And people is sleeping on him. He going to be that sleeper D tackle that people forgot about. Because with Coach Williams, and, with that D-line, how you like to rotate that D-line, man, that D-line, I think, going to be dangerous than what it was last season. And I think between Booker and Walker, might be the starting edge, though. But if Walker ain't giving us that that we need on the other side of the edge, I won't be surprised if Booker ends up starting probably about maybe week 4 or week 5, whatever the case may be. So I just hope this goddamn Caleb have his shit together, man, because I'm ready to see, what this guy looking like with the team we have, this O-line, the better coaches and everything. And I'm kind of excited. I ain't been excited for the Bears offense since hell, I can't even tell you when last time I've been excited for a Bears offense, with keep pieces like this though. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to the season and checking out this Hard Knocks and see what this Hard Knocks is gonna look like. And just ready for football to be back, baby. So let me know what you think, man, about that Pickens being starting D tackle on the other side with Dexter, because I think them two there will be I can just see it now. Our D-line just getting out to people we cause havoc and getting turnovers as well, though. And I know y'all talked about Tyler Scott, stepping up and everything, though. I hope he can hold on to the ball this time so he can be that sleeper receiver when we need him in big situations like you spoke on, Haize, because he had opportunities and then he dropped passes, though. But hopefully he got his hand together and everything, though. And I want to see DJ and Kenny get another 1,000, get a 1,000-yard season, right along Posse Cole Command as well. So it's time for us to get it. Chicago up, bear down enough.
Listen, here's the thing. Jacob Martin has continued to stand out. If you're talking about that defensive line, hearing that Jacob Martin, even if he does not end up being a starter, I think that Jacob Martin is going to be highly in that rotation of Eric Washington. Now, as far as the last thing that you said, Zach Pickens starting, he's not going to start. You're not going to start. I get what you're saying on that, but Andrew Billings being a veteran, being as solid in the run game, because I get that we like to think all about the pass game. If Javon Dexter's bringing that pressure from the middle, and you got Montez Sweat there, and then if Jacob Martin, DeMarcus Walker, and Austin Booker are solid enough getting to the quarterback, you don't need everybody to get 5-6 sacks. You need some spread out over there. And Billings in that run game is going to be important as well. So I do think Zach Pickens coming off the bench to play for either guy, he's going to get plenty of snaps. That's the thing under Eric Washington, he's going to, as long as he's playing well, he's going to get plenty of snaps and plenty of opportunities. And so, therefore, I don't think he's going to pass up Andrew Billings this year. But I do think he is going to get a lot of snaps this year, way more than what he got last year, so to say. And as far as excitement over Hard Knocks, I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of excited about it. I'm actually really excited about it. But to see the Giants in it and how idiotic they look, I just hope that that's not the Bears. Like, let's just don't let that be us. But thank you for leaving that voicemail, Fred. Let's get into this next one. This one's from Josh.
Chicago Bears Central, what's that word? CBC, Steve-O, Bobby, Haize, C-Dub, Big Kid, what's the word, man? The boy Big Von for the low end, and call it in and check in on y'all boys, man. I'm going to try to make this quick because I know we only got a little bit of time, so I'm going to just run through it. Great camp. I like how everything's moving. We looking like a well-oiled machine. The cadence thing is behind us. Caleb look like he cooking. And just real quick, my opinion. Hey, Caleb is looking to do some things. He's asking questions after almost every play. He wants to know the why. Why are they running this play? Why are they pulling this situation? My opinion, as a football player, I didn't play quarterback, but being around a quarterback, Caleb is ready to take over this offense and make it his own. He's asking questions on why we doing this and why we doing that, because the moment he sees something that he don't like, he's not going to hesitate to audible some, to hot route some, to slide the protection. He wants to garner all the attention of all his guys on offense and get them on the same page. So when it's time to be special, he's going to be ready to be special. Also, the running back competition. Hey, we already know Swift going to be our feature back, but hey, Khalil Herbert, man. Roshan, we know you're the future. Khalil Herbert led the league in yards per carry a couple seasons ago. Let's not forget about him. He's also been having a good camp. As far as the D-line, I believe, hey, I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like we got our D-line the opposite of Montez Sweat on the roster. Austin Booker will be making an appearance this season. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm looking for him to have 5 sacks. Javon Dexter, y'all already know what's going on with him. If y'all look at him, y'all would tell he on a whole different timing. So what's up with him? I'm looking for him to have maybe like 5, 7 sacks, maybe 10 tackles for loss, a couple presses in there. But I'm looking for him to take like an astronomical leap, like that's for sure. As far as our linebackers, hey, Evers and Tremaine, hey, he gonna keep the main thing, and them boys gonna fly around. Cut out to Son, Jack Sanborn. Y'all already know how he coming. But as far as our secondary, that's our bread and butter. I believe that's what we're gonna eat. I believe we have a secondary where at least the starting cornerback could get at least 3 or 4 interceptions apiece. I'm looking for Kevin Byard to be that vocal point in the backfield, and we gonna cook, man. Hey, I will be up at practice on the 27th, and I'm gonna be at the Canton Hall of Fame game, man. So if y'all got tickets, pop out to training camp, pop out to the Hall of Fame game, man. I can't wait to see y'all guys there. Chicago up, better hell down. Let's get it, baby.
Yeah, camp's going well. Camp's going extremely well. And I think that, like you said, you want to know the why. Anybody who's a critical thinker wants to know the why. That's never a bad thing when you have to use your brain, right? So always wanting to know the why, that's not a bad thing at all. And I hope that continues for Caleb Williams. And he's showing the ability, the desire, and all that to continually grow. He's grown practice after practice, even though they got their asses whipped yesterday. And according to what I've seen so far from training camp going on today, by the way, this is being recorded while training camp's going on today, they're not doing too well either. So we'll see what happens with that one. But overall, like Caleb Williams, his growth is hugely important to this. He understands that, and him wanting to know the whys to pick apart that defense, that's going to be amazing for the Bears next year. Now, as far as Khalil Herbert, yes, we heard that he's had a great, a solid camp. I won't say great, but a solid camp. But here it just comes down to, it doesn't come down to if he, like, people know that Khalil Herbert can play. That's not the question about Khalil Herbert anymore. It's not about him, can he play? It's about what the future is for this Bears team. And once they signed DeAndre Swift, it basically wrote the story for the future of Khalil Herbert. I get it. You can make all the conversations for why the Bears should keep Khalil Herbert. I'm not going to go against most of those because I know what Khalil Herbert can be in this league, and that's why I was excited last year about him getting the opportunity to be the starting running back for this team. But when it comes down to it, the Bears have made their decision, and unless this running back trio ends up just being like the best trio in the NFL, and even then, the chances of him re-signing with the Bears are slim, and therefore, the Bears may need to explore what they can get for him. I don't think he's going to be cut. I don't hope he's cut. But if you know he's not part of your future, you owe it to yourself to try to see what you can get for him in the market because you might as well. At least that's my opinion. But, hey, Josh, by the way, stop trying to fit in a whole podcast in a 3-minute voicemail, bro. Like, come on. You basically hit every topic that we hit in 30-minute episodes. And you didn't get to flesh out all your thoughts. You ain't got to hit everything, bro. Leave multiple. We have 2 voicemail episodes a week, man. Go ahead and leave multiple. All right, let's get into this next one. This one's from Xavier, man.
What's going on, guys? This is Xavier calling, man. I just had something I want to say about Khalil Herbert. I heard he has been having a good camp so far. So with that being said, I think we might as well just keep him on the roster. I mean, like, honestly, bro, we got to look at it from this aspect. We do have a young rookie quarterback. And as y'all know, a run game and an offensive line is important for a young rookie quarterback, So, if you got a young guy who doesn't have the NFL experience, who's just coming in, he might have his struggles or whatever. A solid run game could help. So I just look at it like, man, if we have a 3-headed monster in the backfield with Herbert, Rojo, and D Swift, that'd be straight. It'll help him because it could do nothing but help Caleb. Because at the end of the day, he's gonna have his ups and downs. We know that for a fact. But a 3-headed monster attack out of the backfield would definitely help. And plus, a lot of people just look at what he can't do as far as the pass blocking and all that. I get it. Want to keep the quarterback upright, and that's important. But we also have to look at what he can. The boy can run the ball. So I look at it like, man, like even if he's the second or third down back, having a 3-headed monster would help. And we've seen teams recently do it. The 49ers a couple years ago when they had Raheem Mostert and those other 2 guys behind him. They made it to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, bro. And I think Caleb as a rookie will be better than Jimmy G as a quarterback his whole career. So, honestly, bro, I just want to let y'all know, I want to see how y'all will feel about that 3-headed monster attack, to help out our young rookie quarterback, That's pretty much it. That's all. Chicago up there now.
Listen, I get the thought process about, and much like I said in the last voicemail, I completely understand the thought process behind saying, let's try to keep Khalil Herbert. I will not argue with you on the whys. But the fact is, it's also a business aspect. Shane Waldron runs a 2 running back system. And as we saw last year, even with Deontay Foreman, you could find solid running backs to be your third back. I get it. Everybody that's saying things like, well, the depth, people get hurt, things like that. Well, everybody got hurt last year, and I believe we brought in Darren and Evans, and he came in and performed pretty damn well. The fact of the matter is that if you have a solid offensive line as far as in the run game, there's always going to be a running back that can come in and play well enough for you as the third running back. That's the thing. You don't want to pay for your third running back. You may not even want to pay for your second running back, right? Depending on how Ryan Poles sees it. And when you have a young guy in Roschon Johnson that has tremendous upside and offers a different skill set, that may end up being just the writing on the wall. Again, this is not a knock on Khalil. This is not to say that I don't understand everybody's thought process that has that on why Khalil should be kept. I get it. I understand. In a lot of ways, I'm with you guys on the whys. But you got to also look at the business aspect. And the fact of the matter is, running backs got paid more this past free agency, and I'm glad for him. I'm happy for him. But at the same time, there's still starting caliber running backs that come in to every draft that you can get in the 3rd and 4th and 5th rounds. And because of that, it makes guys that aren't clearly head and shoulders above everyone else. And I hear he led the league in yards per run. That's cool and all. That's a great stat. Don't get me wrong. And that shows that there's talent there. But when you have starting caliber running backs coming in at that frequency, I'm just saying it comes down to a point where you just may not pay him. So we'll see. All right, let's get into this last voicemail. This one's from DeJuan.
Hey, Bobby, Steve-O, C-Dub, Cognac Boys, this your boy DeJuan from the Low End, calling to check in with y'all. Now, I've been listening to y'all every day like I normally do. No, I don't call in as much, but once the season come about, I'll be hitting y'all up damn near every day. But I like y'all take that y'all been talking about on the Bears throughout mini camp and everything, and we're making the progress. I remember I asked the question, about the backups, so you think go step up, and it seemed like, coming from camp, they letting it be known what backup stepping up. You know what I mean? Y'all mentioned Greg Strongman, somebody else strongly felt can back up Kyler Gordon in a nickel position. I see Tyler Scott, making his catches, building his bond with Caleb Williams, which will probably end up keeping him on the roster. Hopefully, for him to be ready for next year if Keenan Allen don't come back. I feel Keenan Allen not gonna come back because he haven't signed no extension or anything. I think the only reason he's doing this 1 year is because, like he said, he got traded here and they used him to get Caleb Williams comfortable, and so he's doing what he got to do to be a part of the team for 1 year. But I don't really think he's gonna come back next year. Outside of that, I like Javon Dexter, bulking up and staying lean and getting faster, being more violent, when it comes to the drills. With the offensive line, they coming together. I just want them to stay healthy, make it all the way through. Hopefully Kyler Gordon don't tweak no more of his muscles or anything. Like, he's been injured the first 2 years. He's been coming in, playing for us like he does say. But outside of that, I just like everything that's going on so far. I'm still waiting until preseason, even though they're not going to play full quarters and everything, but I just want to see how they going to be looking, how they going to come out. Is it going to be able to be watchable on TV? Because for some reason we had times as Bears fans, you look at it on TV like, why the fuck we can't move the ball? And you see the weakest teams on TV and they still moving the ball better than us. And it could be a winning game and we still not moving the damn ball. But I just want to see how they going to look on TV. I'm going to stick with the Bears no matter what. If it's good season, bad season, no matter what, because it's my city. I love my city and I love my team. Chi-town up, bear down. Let's keep it going. Peace.
Keenan Allen not coming back. Here's the thing that I'll say. You said he hasn't signed an extension yet. Ryan Poles already said they're not talking extension with Keenan Allen before the season. They may not. They may even wait to the end of the season before they do it, and that is because they do have Rome Odunze there. And if Tyler Scott ends up stepping up, yeah, Tyler Scott can absolutely be a sleeper for the Chicago Bears team. I think when you look at how he can benefit from the chemistry he has with Caleb Williams, that can go a long way in him being really good in that slot, right? Because that's primarily what it's going to be with that speed and what he can do. So I think that there is a chance that, yeah, Keenan Allen plays his last game, and it isn't just because of Tyler Scott, but it'll be a combination of Rome Odunze being young and being ready to go for that wide receiver too. If you can lock in DJ Moore to an extension, which you have another year before you have to, but the Bears, Ryan Poles has said that they want to get him into extension. So if they end up doing that and Tyler Scott's there and he's shown that development, shown that growth and that chemistry with Caleb Williams, that may be the story there. Now, I do think that there is a world as well where Keenan Allen does come back, but I do think that as of right now, the most likely scenario is probably going to be one and done. But we'll see what happens. But as far as preseason, we're all excited about preseason. Think about it. This time next week, on next week's Friday Mailbag episode, I should be fielding voicemails from you guys talking about the Bears' first preseason game. That's going to be exciting, y'all. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following the show at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.